And the trip you take once a year, we all take it.
Yep.
The trip you take is 584 million miles before you get back around to where you started.
And you say you never travel.
We all are big time travelers.
So we wound up in the same place we started?
Yep. And the whole thing is moving away, and we're traveling at 60,000 miles an hour.
Moving away from what?
Moving away from going out across the cosmos. You're spreading like this.
So the universe itself is flat, but it's spreading as
we
we're
have these
spinning.
planets. We're in a line of planets, and all the planets on our right and left going round and round and round. I only make that point to say
That's by the way, that's quite
whatever
the point.
the point of the point was.
That
I'm on
was
the
a
edge
big
of my
point.
hold on.
at the same time.
Let me get on the edge of my seat. Right.
At the same time, all this traveling is going on at an incredible speed, because the key to it, my point is, you don't even have a sensation of moving.
It feels like we're just perfectly still right now.
Look, this is
Hold
not
up a
moving,
piece of paper.
and we're not moving. Look and watch gravity. That's gravity.
Paper falls to
You
the
say
table.
without that, you got problems.
Oh, we'd be spinning off.
It would sling you in every direction. I only bring that up for my atheistic friends and the agnostics of the world. That, any way you want to slice it,
Man.
is incredible design.
Right.
It's incredible. You're like, good night. Now look, and the Earth, it's spinning at 1,040, moving at 66,000. The Earth itself, watch, it's got about a 23.439281 degrees. It's like this.
Tilted
It's tilted slightly,
as it's spinning.
roughly of 23, 24 degrees. You say, what if that was just straight up and down?
No good.
We're dead. We're dead. All of us are dead. You're like, well, it seems like this thing, we're just to be here is one of the most dangerous things you could ever put together. The key to it is that took, to all my atheistic friends, we love y'all, but that took design to make that happen. Any way you want to slice it. Now from there, you pick up a Bible, which a lot of you don't do. I recommend you pick up a Bible if you're an agnostic or an atheist, and just think about these things.
Or if you know one,
Yeah.
tell
The
them.
first sentence, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And then I gave you just an explanation of what the earth is doing in lieu of the sun being where it is, 93 million miles away. You're like, boy, that took precise design, or it's chaos and you're dead in a heartbeat. So one of the things that came up, and now we get to the cold open that gets a little hotter. You begin in Genesis with the sentence, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. He either did that, and this thing's got a lot of design any way you want to slice it. You say, well, if he didn't create it, whatever system turned out and the earth, you say, what about Mars, and what about Jupiter and Venus on both sides of us, and Mars? You say, what about these planets? They've researched them, Al, and guess where they found any life? Guess where life is, what they found? Guess where?
Just where we are.
Just where we are.
Yeah.
Both sides of us, no. They've sent rovers to Mars, drove around, looked around. They said, You said, did they find a trace of a living organism? None. Zero. They found nothing. Just Earth. I think it's worthy of note. Now, you start reading through Genesis, and you get to Genesis 11, which is become part of what I'm going to say here. Genesis 11, verse 1. The whole world. Now just think about this. The whole world had one language and a common speech. Now we're over in 1 Corinthians chapter 11, where people were gifted to speak languages they had never studied. But that begins in Acts chapter 2.
Right.
So do these three things for y'all are out there who want to do a little Bible study. Go to Genesis 11 and read the statement, the whole world had one language and a common speech. I'm saying to you, there were two great events in the history of the Bible. It answers a lot of questions the atheists have because they scratch their head because you know what they want to know, Al?
So,
Where did all these languages come from?
mm-hmm.
I don't believe God made it. I believe humanity crawled out of the ocean. Well, if they crawl out of the ocean, I guess the ocean and its commonality, whatever you want to call it, but the ocean, for some reason or another, it made everybody to speak in one language. Well, that's the way it was for a while. But you get to Genesis 11 and a strange thing happens. As men moved eastward, they found, this is after the flood. And these are descendants of Noah's sons that came off the boat. From these, the nations spread out over the earth after the flood. That comes before the Tower of Babel. The whole world had one speech. As men moved eastward and found a plain in Shinar and settled there, they said to each other, give us some bricks and let's build ourselves a city with a tower that reaches to the heavens. And we'll make a name for ourselves and not be scattered over the face of the whole earth. We got this one language. We want to keep that. We don't want to move. We want to stay right here and show everybody how great we are. But the Lord came down to see the city and the tower that the men were building. And the Lord said, as one people, speaking the same language, there it is again, they have begun to do this, then nothing they plan to do will be impossible for them. Come, let us go down. This is God. Let us go down. And they've scattered all over the earth. And it says, that's why it's called Babel. Come, let us go down, verse 7, and confuse their language so they will not understand each other. It's the beginning of all the dialects that you see that humanity has, and there's a lot of them. I don't know how many dialects, but somebody would know that. Look it up, and you say, all these different dialects, what's the point here? Well, you go from there. That's where all the languages came from, because think about it. If you're an atheist, you say, well, when saltwater made them, he made all of them speaking the same language, but God stepped in, and now you have how many hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different languages.